So I'm already like getting to the point where I'm fed up, because here you are supposed to get your GED class, your GED. You sitting here still seeing other females. Then you still having these females come in to pick you up. And yet you're still not providing for none of the children. Now I'm working 2 jobs and you're still doing these. You're still seeing other females. You're still doing all this stuff, yet still trying to hold on to me. So this week, I'm working both jobs and I'm getting stressed out. So now I'm like really heavily like going through his stuff. And my best friend, like, she's going through her own stuff because she's ready to have kids, and her and her husband is going through stuff back and forth because he's in all sense, he's like telling her he doesn't want to have kids with her because of how she is. I think around this time, her sister-in-law ended up having twins. So her mother-in-law was up here. Up here from Jamaica, and helping the sister-in-law take care of the twins. And my best friend was asking for me to like make my famous baked wings. They call it Ludi's baked wings or whatever, because the way I cook it. I mean, my base for everything is Italian dressing, but that's because I learned that from the chef that was at the group home in the day program. So one night she had asked me to, the night that my mom was there or whatever, she had asked me to make the wings for her, and she bought the wings. I cooked it for her, and I was like, well, I gotta work in the morning, because around when I was working at the being a dietary at that place, I had to wake up like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning to get to work. So I had made her some wings. I told her I was going to leave the door unlocked. My mom and her best friend are sleeping in the living room. I'll have everything ready. I put it on the oven. I cooked it for her so she would have food for the next day, because she was also on a diet too. We both was doing the diet thing again. And so I'm saying that for a reason. So when this week comes or whatever, he ends up getting a job that he's supposed to start that following Monday or 2 weeks, because he got to go through the whole hiring process, doing the background check and doing the whole thing. So I already know he's about to work. So for some reason this week, like, I just got fed up and I just kept finding stuff. And I guess he was tired of it. And this one particular day, like, he just was going off. That day he was like, I'm so sick and tired of this. And I guess he was feeling himself or something like that, because now he was going to be able to work and he didn't have to rely on me or his mom anymore. So he felt like his chest was big enough to, pump out. So that night he wanted to go get some weed, and I'm like, no, I'm not pulling out no money for you, because we need this money for, bills and stuff like that. So he got in my face, was threatening to hit me, talking about if I don't go get his money for him to go get weed and everything like that, it's going to be really worse for me. So I guess my oldest son was either playing with our second oldest daughter, and he pushed her, or she fell or something like that. And then he started screaming at my son, like, you too big to be pushing down your little sister. Then he comes into the room and start yelling about why is your son pushing my daughter, this and that, like, going off. And I'm like, what is really wrong with you? So I said, okay, I'm gonna go get the money. But really, I knew I was going to go to his mom's house and, like, you need to come get your son out of my place, because now you're starting to yell at my son for no reason. Like, now you're getting really aggressive with him. Like, no, and I'm working 2 jobs. Like, you need to leave, because he wasn't, at that point, he was like, he's not going nowhere anymore. I guess his best friend grandmother was tired of him being in the house or whatever, so he had no other place to go. So when we get back, his mom comes, his little sister comes, and mind you, he was talking about, like, when we would be on good terms, the boyfriend that the sister was with, like, was cheating on her. I think gave her like 2 STDs. Like, this is what the second. Okay, how to change. So yeah, so I say all of that because that comes into play also about the little sister coming also. Because when I go to his mom's house, I start busting out in tears. I'm like, you need to come get your son. He's yelling at me. He's threatening me. And then, he's yelling at my son and all this. And mind you, his stepdad's in the back like, I'm not going, because I know if I go, it's going to be some issues with him, because why is he doing that, all that stuff again, all at that girl house or whatever. So his mom was like, okay, she's coming or whatever. And I guess she ended up calling the little sister, because it was late. It was like 10, 11 o'clock at nighttime. So being that I don't really trust him like that, she's like, she's going to meet me at my house or whatever, at the apartment. So being that I'm like, yeah, it's late or whatever, she's probably going to send the sister to kind of calm things down. So I'm like, I know that's not going to work, because I need him out of the house. So just in case they don't show up, I stop at the bank just to get the money, just in case they really don't, because at the end of the day, I have to go to work the next day, and my kids need to go to school. So I'm like, I need to start figuring out something. Either I'm going to leave this apartment or figure out a way to get him out. And once again, I didn't want to call the police, because I don't want DCF getting involved. I don't want my kids getting taken away, and then having to go through all of that. I just started these 2 jobs. I'm trying to keep my apartment, so I want the least amount of drama affected with this, just so I could still have a job and still provide for my children. So when I get there, his mom's already there. His little sister is there with her boyfriend. So when I get out the car, it's a whole big commotion. Like, he's out on the balcony, yelling and screaming or whatever, mad because I called his mom out there, and all he wanted was just some weed or whatever. So he's screaming out of the balcony, "Oh, I'm not I'm not a real woman. I'm not a good mother, because my son and my daughter was playing or something like that, and he accidentally like hit her in the mouth or something like that, which like busted her lip, or gave her busted her lip. And he was mad at me because I didn't discipline my son when he did that. So he brought that whole situation up. And I was like, how I'm going to beat him for something that was an accident? He was just playing with his sister. Then he brings up the fact that the first person I had children with just pops up at our house, and here I am going through his phone, causing all this drama between all these girls and everything like that. But yet my first baby daddy, the one that I claim to never don't talk to, don't have no dealings with him, knows where I stay before he did. I explained that situation. Now he's doing this all on the balcony at nighttime. Now that neighbors are outside and looking through their windows and listening to it.